Morning, everybody. Well, rained all night, and then it was nice enough to let us pack up and not rain. And then as soon as we left, it started raining again. But really can't complain. The past couple days in the forecast it said, it's going to rain all day. It really hasn't. It sprinkled a little bit, but it can't be dry and sunny all the time. You got to hike through days like this. So you saw a moose yesterday. Tell me about it.
So it was my first moose ever.
Yeah.
Right, and so I'm walking down the trail. I was a little bit ahead of the rest of the group. I hear what sounds like a really heavy jogger or runner behind me.
Yeah.
And so I turn around, and to my surprise, it's not a heavy runner or jogger. It's a moose. And so I dropped my poles and almost tripped trying to get behind a tree because that's what I've been told to do. And was alert to me, and so it stopped for about 30 seconds, and I was just cowering behind the tree. I was able to take a couple quick pictures. And
a cow, not a bull.
It was a female, which is why I was a little more timid, because I heard that they're very protective of their young.
Right.
So I didn't know if it had its young with it. So it just made a wide arc around me, kept going down the trail, and I started walking down the trail and saw it again. I was like, oh Lord, you got to get behind another tree.
Yeah.
Right. So then gave it several minutes to
space.
move on before continuing hiking.
It's a cool experience though, right, man?
Yeah, it was like 20 yards from me. It was awesome.
That's awesome, dude. Thanks for that.
Right? Yep, absolutely.
Just so neat.
How neat is that?
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
neat.
So there is an easy way to take a hiker off trail. You leave a sign at the trailhead saying that there is food, refreshments, coffee, etc., but you have to wait around for an hour and 10 minutes, right? Hour and 10 minutes?
Hour and 10, hour 15, something like that.
So we're checking out this stand, hoping they have like an outlet. If I can get an hour's worth of charge on my battery bank, and then have like a burrito and a coffee and what else? Soda and a whole bunch of stuff, that'd be awesome. Definitely made a good stop, charging my stuff. On the Edge Farm.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. It's just been up and down and up and down and up and down all day long. We're still got 14 miles to go to camp. It's noon. Got a hitch really fast to a deli that's about a mile away. May as well stop for lunch. Saved ourselves a couple minutes here too. I thought we were walking all the way. First truck that came by was awesome. Alright, this is the store that you want to go to. That was the best sub I've had on the AT so far. I got a nice roast beef sub for dinner. And now we just got to figure out how to get back to the trail. Think we're going to have some luck?
Hopefully, otherwise we'll
be walking a mile.
At like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's already 1:15. We're really dawdling today. Well, let's see how we do. Alright, back on the trail. It's about a mile, 1.1 maybe mile walk back to the trail, but no hitches. We tried. There was really no one even going the direction we were headed, so. Okay. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at your sweat. Look at my sweat. Oh my gosh, this is like the first view in Vermont, I think, that was actually on the trail and not a 0.2 off of it. Okay, Vermont. I get it. You're a badass. I agree. Get out of here, bug. Oh my god. This is such a tiring day. We have so far to go, too. Don't underestimate Vermont. And honestly, Vermont is really, really cool right after the Long Trail split. I'll tell you what, Vermont has gotten beautiful. Southern Vermont sucks. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's hard. It's muddy. There's no views. There's not really anything to see. But right after the Long Trail, thumbs up. It's just tough. All right. We made it to the big pile of rocks. Woohoo! And a little view. Oh my god. I feel like this trail is just turning into food. That's all the videos are anymore, is me eating. I'm sorry. At this point, if you don't eat, you're gonna die. I'm so hungry all the time. I want to talk a little bit about yesterday's little encounter. I probably didn't explain it very much. I was watching that episode last night and editing it. It was like I saw that blaze in the middle of the forest, and I just was overwhelmed with like happiness and just a comforting feeling. It was so weird, and I kept reading in several blogs and a couple books that I've read about an AT through hike that there's a moment on the trail that seems to be a thing where you just kind of stop and you take a look around and you experience just total, I think nirvana is the word that somebody used. I guess that's the best way to explain it. And I was like, man, I really don't want to put this in the video because it makes me look like a freak. But I'm trying to keep these as real as possible, and it happened, so I'm not going to hide it from anybody. It choked me up a little bit. I mean, I wasn't full on crying, but I was choked up. It felt really good. I was super happy. I was super like energized to be out here yesterday. Right before that, RD had passed me, and he was listening to music, and I remember this distinctly as I was taking a break to film some things, and he just fist bumped me. And then the next blaze that I saw, that happened. So, you know, I don't know what happened, but it felt really, really cool. Got a comment about, and I'm not slamming the guy, I think it's actually a really good comment, so I wanted to address it, you know, like I've done some of the other comments on here. But the comment was, I feel like I can't relate to your through hike because of all the subscriber trail magic that you've received, whether it be, you know, cherry cokes or shuttles or just additional help. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Me and Marco were just talking about it. So there's these people called trail angels in the majority of the towns that you get close to. They're in Guthook's app. Sometimes, are they an AWOL's guide too?
Rarely.
Rarely. Okay, so the majority of them are in Guthook's. Yep. But if you select the town in Guthook's, you are usually presented with a whole bunch of comments about trail angels, and they list their phone number. You may have seen one of these guys back when I hiked into, I forget what town it was. It was the first time I got a hitch, and there was a trail angel, Jim Sparks. Does the same thing. He, you call him, he doesn't charge you for a ride, he gets you into town, takes you where you need to go, and he takes you back to the trail.
Jim Sparks was in Marion.
Marion, that's it.
Yep.
And there are many people along the AT that are either former thru hikers, parents of thru hikers, aspiring thru hikers. There's all these people, all these trail angels out there. And as far as the getting a shuttle into town, we could always hitch. Hitching is becoming easier and easier as we get closer to Katahdin, I guess. But you can always hitch, and you can also always call one of these trail angels that are in, man, almost every town that I've seen. For instance, the episode with Walter, not even 4 blocks from his house, there's a trail angel that lets you sleep in his yard, pretty much what we just did at Walter's. So the experience doesn't have to be ruined by, just watching my subscribers provide the magic. I want to, meet my subscribers. That's why I'm doing it. And as far as the, trail magic like cherry cokes along the way, yeah, you may not get delirium. That's definitely a perk of being on YouTube. And just my subscribers being awesome, seriously. But, you're bound to get way more trail magic than we would have got if you start, March 15th, March 1st. In the bubble. There's just a ton of people ready to do the trail magic out for you. Not many people want to do it, starting in February. So don't let my subscribers ruin the connection between this through hike, because it could be more or less the same trail magic that you get normally. Would you say that's correct?
I would say so, because I did, 700 or 800 miles of the trail before I met up with you. So a good chunk of it, and that's where I had, a lot of my experience with Fresh Ground, who I was with for 2 or 3 weeks. I had seen a lot of roadside trail magic, so not necessarily getting shuttles into town, but people just set up on the side of the road, passing out hot drinks or sodas or, little candy snacks or whatever for the hikers as they were going by.
Right.
So I actually saw more of that before I met Frozen.
Yeah.
I think the difference here with Frozen, and I'm sure other YouTubers, is that, it's more of a, okay, we know that, this person is going to meet up with us versus it just being a random chance.
Right. It's more scheduled. Exactly. It's not as much of a surprise. There have been surprises out here, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And so again, I think that goes back to Frozen wanting to meet the people that have been following the.
I want to see. Honestly want to see who's watching,
supporting him, and all of that. So.
Yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd address that. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Looks like we're beating the storm so far. We'll see if we make it. We got another 8 miles to go, and it's almost 4:30.
We're doing so good today.
Oh, we're doing great today with all the stops we made. All right, in the town of West Hartford. Just stopped at the farmer's market down there. Spent a whole bunch of money. Ugh. But the food was really good and supporting local farms, so it's alright. Ate at the library, met up with Togs and Lucky. Togs is not doing well. I'm not sure what she has. We are hoping it's not Lyme's disease at this point, though. America's ankle and heel is killing him. I don't know if he's going to go any further. Lucky's going to stay back with them, make sure Togs and everybody's okay. America might continue. So I am headed either 1.3 miles or 2.1 miles to a stream, and I'm just going to set up shop there, whatever looks good. I could head 3.3 to that Happy something shelter or other. There's a huge climb right before it, and honestly I don't think I'll make it before the rain starts getting really heavy, which is around 8 o'clock. So here we go. Okay, this is going to be my home for the night. There's a pre-existing fire ring right over there. So I'm not creating anything new. Not that I touch the ground anyway, but man, this is one thing I do miss about, camping alone. Yeah, the family loves to stay in shelters, and I get it. It's a convenience thing with setting up your tent and, packing up wet and all that other stuff, but hammock, the only wet thing you have on your hammock is the tarp. So it's really never a big deal to pack up a hammock, really not. Anyway, it's going to be such an awesome spot. I'm going to listen to that stream all night and just enjoy the rest of the day. Anyway, good night everybody. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning everybody. Had a great night's sleep last night. It started raining shortly after sundown, and it just continued since. Raining really heavy at times too, but it's supposed to rain in the morning and then clear up by lunchtime, so I'll start getting dressed. It's the worst part of the day, and then gotta make it into Hanover today. Got a backpack waiting in Norwich. 6 o'clock, here we go. One great thing about having a tarp, whether you're sleeping on a tarp or you're in a hammock, you can just have breakfast and not have to worry about getting wet or finding a place to stay dry. It's so much easier. I just had the best instant coffee ever, and I have to get some of this in town, but I wanted to mention it for those that like coffee. It's called Alpine Start, and I believe Walter gave me this stuff, so Walter, thank you if you gave me this. I'm pretty sure it was you and I just forgot about it, but holy crap, I'm switching. And that was a medium roast. I usually like a light roast. I keep rolling my freaking right ankle. It's the 3rd time in 2 days. Oh, God. I feel like if I roll one more time, it's going to break. Oh, that one really hurt too. Alright, look at that, light AF. Also, 4-day resupply. I might have to divvy this up because it's only 3 days into the next town. And I already have 2 days because I keep eating elsewhere. Anyway, let's swap packs. Alright, let's talk about pack differences now. So you can see there's 2 clips on here. You can still use the fanny pack or removable hip belt, the 1-inch webbing, it's fine. And on this one, there's only one, as you can see. So the stitching Togs held up great, and I just got to make sure that I don't wear the fanny pack by itself, because this clip dug into this when it was just a standalone. So I got to make sure I don't do that with this pack. Also, it looks like there's a tensioner system on the water bottle pockets now, which is great. I love the wide pockets, but they are sometimes a little big. But other than that, this is great. Look at that. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Can't wait to get it dirty. Connecticut River. Welcome to New Hampshire. 2 states left, 441 miles to go. The clean dry cleaner.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's funny. What I think is even funnier is how much of a kick you're getting out of this.
Oh, God. Alright, finally in the woods of New Hampshire. Been looking forward to this for a while. The whites are coming up in a few days. I tried to order myself a sleeping pad just to have some more options through the whites, but Amazon Prime says it was going to take 4 days, so it'd be Monday, today's Thursday, to deliver my sleeping pad to Hikers Welcome Hostel, which is in 40-something miles from now. Not good, so not going to arrive in time, but apparently Gut Hooks has a lot of stealth sites in the whites ready to be had, or found, I should say. Hanover is an awesome place. I would have totally spent the night there. It's a college town. There's great scenery, there's great food, there's great beer. We even hit up the Flat Pancake, Tiny Pancake, I can't remember, but they had good craft beer. I realized I was drinking a 12% or two. I'm like, oh boy. So, pretty good. Anyway, got 10 or so miles to camp. It's about 3:15, and we'll see what we get into today. Check out this frog. He's like perfectly blended into the leaves. I didn't even see him. I almost stepped on the poor guy. You see him? Right there. That's crazy. He looks just like a leaf. Remember how we were talking about trail angels? That's exactly what I'm talking about right here. These are in a decent amount of places, but mostly they're in Gut Hooks. Sometimes you do find business cards at the trailhead. Alright everybody, we decided to set up here. Had way too much food and fun in Hanover, and we're only about 2.3 miles away from the shelter we were originally shooting for. So 21-mile day tomorrow, put this back on track. Togs and Lucky, they are in town right now. Togs has some kind of intestinal thing going on, and she's on antibiotics. She got tested in, or treated in Hanover. So hopefully she catches back up to us. We really can't stop at this point, but I'm sure she'll catch back up. Shouldn't be a big deal. Everybody's here. So everybody wanted to camp next to the stream, and it's pretty nice here. So we'll do a 21-mile day tomorrow, put us where we were going to end up anyway, and we're just going to have a good night. Anyway, see you in the next one.